What's up guys, BARRYGAMING here, back with some more Eternal Evolution, and today we're going to be talking about one of the most important game modes for the progression of your account, and that is Crimson Abyss. Now you can see we're only beating basically stage 5, still haven't even got the timer, we barely miss it every time, but this is where you're going to get a ton of your resources. Soul Rubelite is very important for evolving your heroes. You need so much hero XP once you get above like level 200, it's literally like 500,000 to 700,000 per level per hero that you need to level this up. And on top of that, the soul potions are amazing for getting your heroes completely activated with their talents, because as you guys know, a hero without their talents versus with their talents is a huge difference. Now, the strategy here is basically you need to have summoners so that you don't get pushed back. You want to have 8 heroes or 8 targets on the battlefield when he does this breath here, because when you do that, well, then nobody moves. You move like 0.02 meters per second, which means you basically keep attacking. It doesn't interrupt it. Now, if you get pushed back further, your attack stop, all that fun stuff is great. Now, if you can have this guy right here, Daniel is probably the best person to have on this. You want to run pretty much a full summon team. Like you can see here in the example, this is exactly what they want you to do, and you can see these are some of the better teams being run are ones that are very heavily into summons. However, some of these heroes are not that great compared to the really powerful ones. Now, this feels like a big mistake. I feel like you should always go for the Anpu first and then Sorv as a secondary one. But both of these heroes are very important, which is why earlier today we talked about and we did our one single loop for Sorv. We got a single copy so that we have her and she's ready to build whenever the time happens. But the main hero that you want, if you can't get your hands on Daniel, because of course finding Daniel is a very difficult task compared to these other two. They actually give banners for them more often, it seems like. The most important being the Anpu. So if we go over his skills real quick, he basically does some really awesome stuff. He detonates all his soul guards on the battlefield, does damage, has a chance to stun. That part's not really the big part of why he's so good. We're going to talk about the Soul Guard, though, because these are the Soul Guards that he summons. If you do get the talent effect, you'll be able to have 2 of them up on the battlefield at a time, which is better for something like the summoning event. Anpu summons a Soul Guard in front of him, up to a max of 1, which you can get 2, like we said. These summons have 70% of his attack and defense, along with HP equal to 1,000% of his attack, which is interesting because you don't care about HP on him. Then you just want to build him up full attack so that he has a ton of HP and attack on those minions. When attacking the Soul Guard, a 20% base chance to inflict imprisonment on the target, making them unable to move. That stuff's cool and all, and of course as you get higher levels you'll get higher stats with it. This is where having him on a summon squad really pays off. Whenever a unit on the battlefield dies, including summons, its soul is collected by Anpu. Each collected soul provides Anpu with 2% additional attack. Remember, that goes straight into his summons as well as bonus stats, stacking up to 10 times. So you can get additionally another 40%, 50% if you have the luck and get it on the summon commander. That can be amazing. And then each soul also provides Anpu up to 1% bonus damage. The max amount is 15. So you have all your heroes on the battlefield, mainly Sorv's deers that are just, you get 4 of them at a time. They die, they heal, you come back. It's really insane. And then it says on death, allies and summon creatures, yes, and other summoned creatures have an 80% chance, depending on his accuracy, to instantly explode, dealing damage equal to 600% of his attack to all enemies within 2 meters. Also reduces enemies' energy regeneration. This damage is inflicted instantly and cannot be stopped. This is where it really gets dangerous, because you have a ton of summons on the battlefield dying. That's actually good, because number 1 is giving him more damage, is giving him more attack, and then on top of that, they have a chance to explode, dealing damage based on his attack, not like the summons attack, his attack, which is just absolutely disgusting. Now, if you do go into the exclusive too, he's just going to get even better and better. And yeah, it's just absolutely crazy what he gets to. But I want to talk about mainly his interaction and why Sorv is probably one of the best pairings for him. Now, her active ability doesn't really do much of anything that we care about too much when we're talking about battles like this. She has some like HP energy drain, stuff like that. But the Dark Moon Dreamer is what's really good. Sorv summons one Deer Spirit with 55% of her attack and defense and 12% of her HP. So unlike Anpu, you need to have like HP and attack, or just build them straight attack because you kind of don't mind them dying when you have Anpu in the lineup. Up to 4 Deer Spirits can be present on the battlefield at the same time. And like I said, if you build them straight up offensively, again, you don't care if they die because they're just having an 80% or higher chance to explode. And they're giving Anpu more attack stacks, which is really, really good. And the fact that you can have 4 of them up is amazing because she just summons them so quickly. Right here, we don't really care about the spirit either. This one's pretty good. When an allied unit other than a deer spirit dies, so other summons on the battlefield, has a 7% chance to summon another deer based on the level of Dark Moon Dreamer. So again, you kind of want to have both of these plus an additional summoner. That way, like, summons are dying, and then she summons more deers, and deers die, powering up Anpu, and then, like, another Kalaz or something like that on the battlefield has his minions that take 200% bonus damage, die very easily, but then that summons a deer as a replacement, so on and so forth, and it just kind of gets out of control how the summons go, because if you are going to run a third one, I kind of like him because he can have 2 up at the same time, and like I said, these summons here, they take 200% more damage from enemies, so they're dying quickly. But that's not the worst thing in the world because it synergizes both with the explosions potentially, because whenever they die, they can explode. And then they're also summoning additional deer to the battlefield. So it's like an amazing combo that just kind of goes on itself. And I do suggest that you try to plan after you get, like, you know, your main damage dealer, go for like a Nord or a Leo, someone that can tank that front line. Get like some single target damage dealers, but you really cannot dismiss Crimson Abyss. This is how you'll see on your server other people pull away from you in their levels and all that other stuff. Leveling is probably one of the most powerful parts of upgrading your account. And as you guys can see, I'm way behind the whales, granted, because I mean, I'm a whale-ish. We're in like the 200s, but you take a look at our guild and everything, and we got people way up there starting on the same server. I mean, they're already 222 here. There's Haha as well. Where's Haha? He's up at 240 already, so he must have been buying a lot of EXP too. That, because, oof, good lord, that's a lot of power. Already getting to that 240 is important, but definitely go for this combo and prioritize leveling him up first and then getting copies of Sorv second, because honestly, he can be used with some of the other summoners. He's the bread and butter though. And then if you can get him, I will just touch on it base. I mean, if you can get your hands on a Daniel, he's like by far the best summoner by himself, whereas other ones you kind of need pairings up together. Daniel's amazing, but that's for a whole nother video. Hopefully this helps you guys out. Again, do not discount the power gains you'll get from Crimson's Abyss. Push it as far as possible because, man, there's a lot of levels, and I'll see you guys next time.